Stankie.
What's up everybody, another beautiful day in Azeroth, and here's a quick guide on how to play Storm Cleave in the War Within, which is a more beginner-friendly enhancement build that still performs extremely well. And if you like spewing out enough chain lightnings to put Thor to shame, well, you might enjoy this. Starting off, I just want to say that some of this is subject to change as nerfs and buffs roll out, and I will be releasing in-depth guides for multiple enhancement builds a week or two after the War Within releases. Now, if you played Storm in M+ in Dragonflight, this is largely that, but a lot more fun and with even more spenders than before, plus a big uncapped nuke from the Stormbringer hero talent, which is Tempest. Stormbringer wants you to spend Maelstrom on Chain Lightning or Lightning Bolt in order to proc Tempest, which replaces your next Lightning Bolt with a big uncapped AoE nuke, which also triggers talents like Arc Discharge, increasing your chain lightning damage, but it also spawns a Lightning Feral Spirit, while still doing crazy damage on its own, which is why you really want to generate and spend as much Maelstrom as possible, something that any Storm build does exceedingly well, and even better in the War Within. Now on top of this, due to Tempest proccing from Stormstrike and spending Maelstrom, and spenders themselves, Storm builds no longer single-mindedly aim to spam that ever so glorious Stormstrike button. It is still very much a core part of the rotation and build, but it's not everything. Now, due to the extra talent points that's been so graciously bestowed upon us, we're now able to comfortably pick pretty much every talent we need for both AoE and single targets. We no longer sacrifice one over the other. And you can also make a variant of this build using Fire Nova and Primordial Wave, but not for this video. This video is Storm, ride or die, no cap. Yo, so for this build, the majority of what you do revolves around 3 whole buttons: Chain Lightning, Stormstrike, and Crash Lightning. That's your bread and butter. Need Maelstrom? Stormstrike or Crash Lightning. Have a Maelstrom? Need to spend? Chain Lightning on AoE, Lightning Bolt on single target. Outside of that, it's just maintaining buffs like pressing Feral Spirit as soon as it comes off cooldown, Doom Winds off cooldown, and Tempest whenever it procs. And if Stormstrike happens to grace us with an Ascendance proc, then you prio spam Windstrike whenever it's off cooldown, otherwise Crash if you're not capped on Maelstrom, or Chain Lightning, etc. Now, there are a few curveballs, some ifs and buts, of course, things to keep in mind or keep an eye on. For one, which might have some enhancement fans raising an eyebrow, tab targeting is now a thing for Storm builds, as long as they use Stormbringer hero talents. You can of course perform decent without tabbing around depending on what level and type of content you're doing, but it currently is a fairly big loss to not tab target on AoE. Regardless, due to the Stormbringer talent Conductive Energy, anytime you cast Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt, or Tempest, the main target gets a Lightning Rod debuff that makes it take 15% of all Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt, and Tempest damage you deal to any target. And when you have multiple rods out, well, this damage certainly adds up. And much like my own rod, this only lasts for 8 seconds.
Frankly, that's a skill issue.
Which is why you pretty much want to get into a rhythm of always swapping target after you spend. Lucky for us, unlike Elementalist builds with Lashing Flames where you have to Lava Lash targets with Flame Shock, this just needs to be a target for the most part. Now, all of that being said, you'll get very far with this build even if you aren't micromanaging your tab targeting, which is why it's very beginner friendly, but it still has ceiling where you can improve as a player by managing, for example, the aforementioned tab targeting, which will also help ease you into Elementalist builds if you want to try those. Let's go over the prior list a bit. So Tempest, if it is available and you always want to cast it with 10 Maelstrom. Windstrike on cooldown during Ascendance since it both spends and generates Maelstrom. Feral Spirit on cooldown. Chain Lightning at 5 Maelstrom if you have Arc Discharge, which you get from Tempest, otherwise cast at 8 Maelstrom. Cast Doom Winds, otherwise Crash Lightning if Doom Winds is active, or if you don't have the Crash Lightning buff. Sundering, then Stormstrike or Crash Lightning. On single target, the only difference really is Chain Lightning for Lightning Bolt. But yeah, the main goal is just to spam out spenders as much as humanly possible to proc as many Tempests as you can, while you fish for Ascendance procs from deeply rooted elements. One proc, please! If only it could stop procking at the end of a pack. For immense satisfaction. And outside of tab targeting, it is very easy to approach when you just break it down between either spending on Chain Lightning as soon as you're above 5 or 8 Maelstrom, Tempest on 10, otherwise spam Storm Strike and Crash Lightning, Mad Profit. Yo. And that's pretty much it for this build and how to play it. We'll release more in-depth build guides a bit into War Within when everything is more finalized, as some things always change. But if you're looking for an extremely fun enhancement build that performs really well and doesn't require a rocket degree in science, look no further. And it is a great starting point overall if you want to learn enhancement and pivot into other builds that are more challenging. Storm does a great job in laying down the foundation for enhancement. Now, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments or on Twitch. You can also become a patron, Twitch sub, or YouTube member and get access to the Stankie Gaming Discord, where you can get help with anything enhancement or rating related. You can also get shoutouts in videos, among other things. Don't forget the usual stuff: like, comment, subscribe, slap that notification bell. It really helps my channel out. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.